Hello, everybody. This is Mickey Lynn Larson-Olson, aka Q Patriot, January 6th, inmate 376303. Just sitting down for my one meal of the day. Oh my goodness, I'm still not done. I have been fighting, so I made some Hawaiian sweet rolls that were phenomenal, but I wanted a little more coconut flavor. So I tried it different and to put the coconut oil and the butter. And apparently that makes the dough heavier, so it's harder for it to rise. And then so I'm just chatting away with, Google. I'm like, "Hey Google, what's going on?" Like it's my dough's not coming together. And I thought I had it. Like I passed the window pane test and everything. So that's usually, once you've done that, you're like good to go. And so I rolled out, my balls and I put them in the pan, and then you're supposed to let them rise. And I waited for a long time. And the thing is, now I know that with the freshly milled flour in the heat, so I don't have air conditioning in my house. I haven't for many years. I haven't had heat in my house for many years. We do fine, but apparently the freshly milled flour combined with those ingredients just does not like the heat at all. So it just was not coming together. And so I'm doing all the little tricks they're telling me to do, and just didn't work. So I started all over, different recipes, same concept. I still wanted my coconut. Now, here's the thing. So if you don't want it to taste like coconut, then you're going to want to get refined coconut oil, so it don't taste like coconut. But if you want it to taste like coconut, like I did, you'll get, it won't be refined. So anyway, last time I had put just a little bit of coconut extract, but I had ran out of that. Next time, I'm going to make sure I have some coconut extract, and I'm going to use that, because this has been a pain in the butt, and I'm still not done. I do not quit, though. That is one thing, like, all my military reports was like, she's so tenacious. Yeah, I don't quit. So anyway, but yeah, I had to start all over, and I've just been fighting with it all day long. I said, you know what? I didn't even have my one meal of the day yesterday. I had some cheese and crackers, and but I didn't have, like a meal. Anyway, I haven't slept. I might have dozed off a little bit, but I haven't slept. So anyway, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my ham. It's a boneless ham, a boarhead, all natural ham. And so I went ahead and I made that with it's a honey, brown sugar, maple glaze, and it's got about a half a stick of butter in there, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and about a teaspoon of mustard. I don't like Dijon. If there is even a hint of horseradish in something, I can taste it, and it ruins the whole thing for me. So I stay away from it. Anyway, I put some mustard, and so I went ahead, at least cooked up my ham, and I cooked up my baby carrots, and I put some of the same glaze on here that I put on my ham. So Roxy already had some. She liked it, didn't you, Roxy? Did you like your ham? Do you want to tell everybody? You want to come up here? Can you come up here or no? Roxy, you want to come up here? Can you? I don't know. Can you see everybody? Can you? Don't you dare eat all my ham. She can't get up. Yeah, it's a little smaller chair. So anyway, but Roxy's right here. Ah, you liked the ham tonight, didn't you? She didn't have it with the glaze. She just had it. She just had some of the ham. So anyway, but I still haven't made my mac and cheese. I still want to make that, so I think I'm gonna make it tomorrow. I'm just gonna have my ham and carrots tonight, and fight with this dough, because it didn't rise. And I check. I always check to make sure my yeast is good. And even if the recipe, for instance, it says just put it in there, with all the other ingredients, I always pull it off to the side, put a little bit of honey in there, and a little bit of warm water, usually between like 105, 110 degrees for the hot water, and to make sure that the yeast, gets frothy. So I know the yeast was good. So it wasn't that. So, but what it was, apparently, according to Google, Chat GPT, whatever you call it, I just go, hey. So apparently what it was the heat in my house. It didn't like it. And so the gluten just was not coming together. So it said, and then it was like cracking, even though it like passed the window test and everything. And so it said to put it in the oven, don't turn it on. And it said to put like a boiling pot of water down, and that will moisturize and it'll help the yeast. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work. So it did get it to where it did something, but it still didn't rise, and started all over again. So anyway, if I can't get it, I'm gonna probably make me a different roll tomorrow. I saw this recipe. Man, when I was in school, one of my favorite things when I was in school to eat was the school lunch yeast rolls. Oh my goodness, I love them, and pizza, I think, were my favorite when I was in school. But there was something special about those yeast rolls in the school. And when I was in the 6th grade, I feel like I've always been working, except I'm retired now, but I'm still a digital soldier, working. I just work for free now. I work more hours than I did even when I was in the military as a digital soldier. But anyway, but when I was a kid, I worked at the Fremont Elementary School in Carson City, Nevada, and I worked in the cafeteria. And part of the reason was because free lunches. So, and then I got to make, a little extra money. So we didn't get allowances, maybe very sporadically, but it was nothing very consistent. It was just the price of living there, that's how it was back in the day. And, we came home from school, did whatever chores we had before we did anything else. So anyway, but yeah, I worked at the cafeteria, and I met my first boyfriend there. And we're still friends to this day. But I couldn't go to the movies and stuff like that because I wasn't supposed to date till I was 16. So it was kind of like a download kind of thing. And we played marbles together. Great guy, Christopher Clark. And yeah, he was, but anyway, so, that's how it was back in the 6th grade. But I was crazy about another boy too. He was my first crush ever, David Sims, from when I was 8 years old. And it was crazy because I didn't see him because he lived on the other side of town. And so him and my brother were on the same baseball team. And my dad was a coach. And once the baseball season was over, I didn't see him again, anywhere in town or anything. And then I walked into my 6th grade class, and he was there. Oh my goodness. I just was crazy about that boy, but all the girls were. And anyway, but just so you know, we had a person in my class, my 6th grade class, and we went to school together. Both Carson City 1987 alumni in Carson City, Nevada. And he went on to play the major leagues, and he was either the playoffs or the World Series. I'm embarrassed, I don't remember which one. But he was a pitcher. So he was a pitcher, and he hit a grand slam, which was unheard of. And he was with the St. Louis Cardinals at that time. And yeah, he played with a lot of different teams, and his name is Donovan Osborne. Yes, Donovan Osborne, and I went to class together, and he was in my 6th grade class. Mrs. Todd, the best teacher ever. She was truly the best teacher ever. So Mrs. Todd, she's going to have a place in my book, by the way. I'm going to talk about Mrs. Todd in my book. And Mrs. Todd, so before Mrs. Todd, I couldn't really read. Like, I was in remedial reading, remedial math, remedial everything. And I'm not sure why that was. I mean, I didn't know at the time that, I didn't know at the time until I was 15, and my grandma Irene was there with my grandpa Pete, and my grandma Irene told me about how a man had tried to rape me when I was 3, and I think that did a lot of things. My mom had left. My mom left then, and so anyway, I don't want to go on to all that. Like I said, it's going to be in my book, but I just really struggled with reading. Well, everything goes back to the reading, right? I mean, like, if you can't really read, you're going to struggle with everything else, really. And so I couldn't really read. That's the truth. But I know now it's just because I have an analytical mind. Like, you can't just tell me something and force it on me, right? Like the COVID nonsense, the vaccine, the mask, all of it. You have to explain it to me. Like, it don't make sense to me. I went to medical assisting school. I know that masks don't protect against viruses. The doctors and nurses wear them for bacteria. So, and it had it on the box that it didn't protect against COVID. But yet, I was denied medical care after I had severe, my car got totaled and I got really hurt. My wrist is still messed up. But Hendricks Hospital here in Abilene would not take me because I would not wear a mask. And I said, well, about 6 times, I said, well, show me where it is on the box that says, just read the box to me. Let me see the box. And it wouldn't give it to me. And he said, well, ma'am, it makes other people feel comfortable. And I looked him in the eye and I said, I didn't serve in the United States Air Force for 21 years, 6 tours in the Middle East, almost get blown to bits twice in Iraq to make other people feel comfortable. I said, I serve for freedom. And I said, there's nothing about this that's free, and there's nothing you can tell me to prove to me that there's any benefit to you for your safety or for me for my safety. They said I was being selfish. I said, no, I'm not going to just give up my right to breathe. I mean, if breathing the way God intends us to breathe is not an inalienable right granted by God, I don't know what the hell is. The right to breathe was taken away from us. Meanwhile, you have George Floyd, I can't breathe, as he's dying from fentanyl overdose. Anyway, just crazy. I can't do nonsense. So anyway, I just have an analytical mind. So you can't just say this word, you say it this way, and that's that. Apparently, I might reject it. Reject it. So Mrs. Todd, the best teacher I ever had. Did I already say that? I'm going to say it again. The best teacher I ever had in the 6th grade, Mrs. Todd. I mean that with my whole heart and soul. Best teacher ever. She changed my life. She really did change my life. I mean that. I doubt she'll ever see this, but I mean that. she changed my life. And so I was grounded all the time because I got bad grades. So if I got anything less than a C, I was grounded. My stepsister, on the other hand, Jenny, she could come home with F's. Well, she's always been bad at math. She's always been bad at this. She's always been bad at that. She's always been bad at that. Meanwhile, I'm grounded till the next reporting period if I get a C minus. That's how unfair it was in our house. That's how unfair it was in our house. Yeah, it was quite unfair. So anyway, but Mrs. Todd taught us with phonics. So Mrs. Todd, gave us a phonics book, which broke down the meaning of each part of the words. So, the prefix, the root, and the suffix, it taught us all that. So now it all finally made sense. I finally understood it. My analytical mind was like, okay, I get it now. I get it. And I got straight A's for the first time in my whole life. And I got a ribbon. And my stepmonster was there to see me get it. She said if I got straight A's, she was going to take me out to dinner. Just me and her. Never happened. Never happened. And that ribbon that I got, my stepsister claimed she got it. And she took it. So I go and I'm like, oh, that's my ribbon. I go, no, that's my ribbon. No, she never got straight A's. That was my ribbon. Anyway, look, I am so gonna have a lot to say about a lot of things. But I do want to say Mrs. Todd was the greatest teacher ever. And one of the things I love that Mrs. Todd did was she always had these contests, and if you won, she had this box, and you could grab things out of this box, and it was always related to grades. Like if you got a good grade on this, she'd give you a certain amount of points, and you could go into the box. She was just amazing. Anyway, so it's Yummalicious Yum Yum time. A different way that I made my ham. I usually make ham for my son. He loves ham. He loves sweet ham. But when he comes, I usually get a bone-in ham. But it's just me, so I went ahead and just got, a boneless ham. And this one is about 3 pounds. So it'll look yummalicious, right? My butterfly. So anyway, here's my butterfly. And so there's the glaze on it, which is maple, brown sugar, honey, butter, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of mustard. So, but it looks amazing, right? So, yeah. So I am gonna make my mac and cheese, but I think that's gonna have to wait until tomorrow. And if I can't get these rolls to act right today, I'm just going to try to make those school yeast rolls tomorrow. Somebody posted a recipe. I'm going to see how they oh yeah. So now when I cooked it at 325 in my Dutch oven. And I put a bunch of seasonings. That's just how I cook. I just, thyme and oregano and parsley and I use sea salt. I think it's called Redmond sea salt. And some mustard. But I did the same thing. Pineapple juice. So I put down at the bottom, I put like some pineapple juice. So I wanted it to be sweet. And it is. It is. So anyway, then I cooked it for 30, you gotta glaze it. And then, so you cook up the glaze, and that's you're gonna just kind of get it more like a gravy texture, and just kind of pour it on the top of your ham, and then you'll like half of it. You'll do that with half of it, and then I save the other half to put on my actual ham. I think it looks pretty. It's really delicious. Yum-licious, yum yum, toot toot, toot toot. Yeah, because I can taste all the herbs too. I can taste the sweetness, but I can taste the herbs also, which is what I wanted. So, again, I don't really measure things. I just go by feel. But, yeah. I like that glaze. That's pretty amazing. Oh! So, I talk about my friend Sonny a lot. Good friend, good person, good woman. So I buy my badass, like, patriotic sequence jackets from Sonny. And tonight, she's out there with President Trump at Bedminster in New Jersey. Her and her crew. They look amazing. And they're all there, and somebody posted President Trump had said, I got 25,000 red hats walking around here. So anyway, it was cute, but very well deserved. Sonny and her whole team, they work so hard. They drive all over this country for Trump and to sell Trump merchandise. And I'm just blessed to have them as friends. And I was just floored when her and Jason one day, they just pulled up to my house. I wasn't, and sometimes when somebody's out of your element, you don't expect to see them. It was kind of hard to place, and then I saw Sonny. It's like, oh, and but anyway, so they came and dropped me off my 250 jacket, anniversary 250 jacket that I wore 4th of July in Washington D.C. And Sonny says, Mickey, you get the first one, and she's like, you pay me whatever, whenever. That's what she always says. You pay me whatever, whenever. Anyway. It was wonderful to see them out there in Bedminster. It's beautiful and so well deserved, and I'm blessed to call them my friends. So anyway, yeah. So the ham now, look, Roxy's gonna be in heaven because, but I can do a lot with the ham. I mean, I can put it in my sandwiches, and I can put it in my eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I do eat a lot of eggs. So, yeah. I really like that glaze. I might make some more of that glaze. Oh, I put some pineapple juice in my glaze too. I put the rest of my pineapple juice that I had left in my glaze. So it's really like tasty, sweet, almost like candy. Well. Yum, delicious, yum, yum. But that glaze is amazing. I might make some more. Okay, so, I'm a crazy cute person, right? Okay, so, we tell people, they don't believe us, but we tell people the truth. And that is, there's about 900 people that the world thinks are dead that are alive and in witness protection. And there's a lot of people you think are alive that were executed. And a lot of people you think are dead play the people that you think are alive. Okay, so get this. You guys, have you seen... Okay, so that one guy that had like the Nazi tattoo out in Maine, right? He pulls out of the race, and now they have this so-called transgender, right? that's running for Senate out there in Maine. Okay. I want you to put this in your back pocket because in our Anon circles, it's getting a lot of talk today. It's getting a lot of talk. So you can call us crazy, but I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, like they were right about everything. Oh, are you reading the election stuff and China and the lady that was with the FBI that said she's basically running a shadow government and now she works with Microsoft. Yeah. Traitor. Yeah, it's time for the military to publicly, some of them have been arrested and taken care of, but publicly we need some public arrest, public justice. And so anyway, back to the good part. So, but did you see that person? Did you see?